So now we will discuss the flip-flop conversion. So as I was telling you in the last two lectures that how to convert a flip-flop from, if we have a given flip-flop, then how to get another flip-flop by a given flip-flop. So how to do this? So first, before moving to that discussion, we will first have to see and have to remember the characteristic table and the excitation table and the characteristic equation for various flip-flops. So let's start with the characteristic table of the various flip-flops which we have discussed in the last class and some of which we have not discussed. So starting from the SR flip-flop, if you see, we have seen the characteristic table of the SR flip-flop earlier, and that is okay. So SR flip-flop, if you see, so the same information, this is already we know, okay. For SR flip-flop we know, for the JK flip-flop if you consider, okay, so SR flip-flop earlier we have seen, for JK if you consider, then it is JK is equal to, when both the inputs are 0, 0, the output does not change, so no change. When K is equal to 0, the output gets reset, okay. When J is equal to 1, the output gets set. When both the inputs J and K are equal to 1, then the output toggles, okay, complements. So if the output is 1, then it will become 0. If it becomes 0, so this is what you write in a characteristic table of a JK flip-flop. The characteristic table of a SR flip-flop, you also know that when both the inputs are 0, 0, it does not change. Then when the R reset input is equal to 1, then the flip-flop gets reset. When set input is 1, then at that time the flip-flop gets set, and when both the inputs are 1, 1, the output is undefined, okay, and this particular input should not be applied. Now if you consider a D flip-flop, then in the D flip-flop, it is very simple, D and D flip-flop. So if the input is 0, the output QT plus 1 will also be 0. So it is reset. If D is equal to 1, then the output will also be V1. Okay. Now whereas if you consider the D flip-flop, then the D flip-flop is the flip-flop when the input T is equal to 0, the output will not change. Whereas if T is equal to 1, then the output will toggle. So if it is 0, it will become 1. If it is 1, it will become 0. Okay. Now let us see the excitation table. So again the same information, but now it is first we write the QT and QT plus 1, and later on we decide that for this particular outputs what should be our input. So if you write this information in the truth table, in a table, then it is called the excitation table. So which excitation table means what input you have to apply to get a particular output. So you have to find the input which has to be applied. So that is what is called an excitation table. Okay, so if in an SR flip-flop you don't want the output to change its state, then you have to make sure that S is equal to 0, and you don't care about the R, what is on the input R. If you don't care on the input R, let it be, but you have to make sure that S is 0. If so, then your QT plus 1 will be 0, okay, if QT is equal to 0. Whereas if you want to make QT 1, okay, if QT is 0 and you want QT plus 1 to be 1, then you have to assure that the inputs S and R are like 1, 0. Whereas for the other cases, when QT is equal to 1 and QT plus 1 you want to be 0, then you have to assure that R is equal to 1 and S is equal to 0. Whereas if you want QT plus 1 to be same as QT, but now in this case you want both of them to be 1, 1, then you don't care about S, but R you assure that it should be connected to 0. So this is what the excitation table of the SR flip-flop says. So you can check it from your previous discussion also. It is the same information which you have filled up in the characteristic table, but in a different form. Okay. Now for the JK flip-flop. So in the JK flip-flop, again we write the same information. So JK flip-flop is like when QT doesn't change from 0. If the QT plus 1 is same as 0, same as QT, and the information stored is 0, so then J should be connected to 0 and K is like anything. K can be anything. Whereas if Qt is 0 and you want Qt plus 1 to be 1, then J should be equal to 1 and K can be anything. Whereas if Qt is 1 and you want Qt plus 1 equal to 0, then J can be anything, but K should be surely connected to 1. Okay, should be high. Whereas if you want Qt, if your Qt is 1 and you want Qt plus 1 to be 1, then J can be anything, but K should be equal to 0. Okay, so this is what the information is in the excitation table. Similarly, you can write the D table, D flip-flop. So you can see that whenever your output Qt remains, Qt plus 1 remains same as Qt as 0, then your input D will be equal to 0. Okay, whereas this, sorry, it is like dr written, but it should be D. Okay, and here it should be T in the next table. So when you want Qt, Qt means Qt plus 1 to be 1, and earlier your Qt was 0, so your input should be connected, input D should be connected to 1. Okay, so this is how, whether it is like earlier it is Qt is 1 or 0, and if you want Qt plus 1 to be 1, then you have to connect it to 1. Okay, whereas in the case of T flip-flop, if your Qt is 0, then your Qt will be 1 only when if your Qt is 0, if you connect 1 to the if you want Qt to change from 0, if you want Qt plus 1 to change from 0 to 1, then you have to connect the toggle input to 1. Okay, whereas if you connect the toggle input to 0, your Qt plus 1 do not change. Okay, so this is what it is. So whether you want whenever you want Qt to change from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, you have to make sure that T is connected to 1. Now to summarize whatever we have studied so far, so you can see that these are the various type of flip-flops which you have studied. So these are the symbols in the first column, whereas in the third column you can see that the characteristic table is there for each of the flip-flop. And for each of the flip-flop, we have written the characteristic equation as well. And it is very easy to understand this characteristic equation. And in the last column, we have shown the excitation table for each of the flip-flop. And these are the same tables which I have shown you in the last slides. Okay, last slide or the last lectures, last two lectures. Now, if you talk about the characteristic equation, so for the SR flip-flop, we have derived the characteristic equation properly. While discussing the SR flip-flop. So we have written the characteristic, we took the characteristic table, and that characteristic table information was filled up in the K-map. Following the K-map rules, we group the terms together and then we get the equation for the characteristic equation for the flip-flop, and it have two parts. So the characteristic equation for a SR flip-flop is S plus R bar Q and SR is equal to 0. Okay, whereas for a JK flip-flop, if you see, if you fill up this information J, K and Qt in this K-map, then you will get this particular equation. So which says that Qt plus 1 or the Q next is equal to J Q bar plus K bar Q. Okay, by solving the K-map after filling up the information of characteristic table in the K-map. And this information should be for Q next or Qt plus 1. Whereas for D flip-flop, if you see, it is very simple. So Qt plus 1 will be equal to D. Whereas for the T flip-flop, it will be Qt plus 1 will be equal to T Q bar plus T Q. Okay, T bar Q. So it is sort of T Q means XOR of T and Q. Okay, so you can see it. So this is what it is. The characteristic table is the characteristic equation for a T flip-flop is same as the XOR gate. Okay, so you should remember this. Now, how to use this information to convert? We will require this information for flip-flop conversion. So whenever we have to convert a given flip-flop to the desired flip-flop, then we will require the characteristic table for the given flip-flop and we will require the characteristic equation for the desired flip-flop, and we will require the excitation table for the given flip-flop. Okay, and what are the steps which we have to follow? We have to follow this, that we should write the characteristic table for the desired flip-flop first. In the second step, you write the excitation table of the given flip-flop. Then rearrange these two tables, whatever you have written in step 1 and 2, in a single table, so that you can easily define that what is the input and what is the output for the new circuit. Okay, so considering that, we will understand this with the help of examples. But first, you should be able to arrange the information given in the tables which you have written in step 1 and step 2 to combine them in step 3. Then after doing that, after combining them in an equation in a single table, which you have done in the step 3, so in that table you write the inputs, outputs and the intermediate signals. Okay, then you simplify that with the help of K-maps. Okay, filling up the K-maps depending upon how many variables you have, make the K-maps and fill up the entries in the K-map, and after simplifying the K-map, you get the logical expression, the simplified logic expression. That simplified logic expression will contain some gates, okay, along with the given flip-flop to get the desired flip-flops. So now when you connect them according to your equation, you get the logic diagram for the new flip-flop, okay, so the desired flip-flop. So this is what the general procedure to convert a given flip-flop to the desired flip-flop. So whatever flip-flop is given to you, whether it is a SR flip-flop, whether it is a JK flip-flop, and whichever type of flip-flop you want from it. So if you want to convert a SR flip-flop to a D flip-flop, it is possible. If you want to convert a D flip-flop to SR flip-flop, it is possible. If you want to convert a SR flip-flop to JK flip-flop or JK to SR, so any flip-flop you can convert to any other by following this procedure. And this is important because sometimes you don't have a flip-flop which you want, but you have a certain other flip-flop, and then it is possible to realize the any other flip-flop if you have a flip-flop with you. Okay, so this procedure should be kept in mind, and we will practice this with the help of some examples in the next few slides. Now you see, let us understand the same procedure, the procedure which we have understood with the help of certain examples. So let's say we want to convert SR flip-flop to D flip-flop. So how to do it? So the given flip-flop is our SR flip-flop and the desired flip-flop is the D flip-flop. So for the desired flip-flop, we write the characteristic table. So this characteristic table I have copied from what I have shown you in the first few slides. So that characteristic table. Then in the step 2, we write the excitation table of the given flip-flop. So the given flip-flop here is an SR flip-flop. So in the step 2, we write the excitation table. Again, this excitation table is copied from what was shown you earlier. Okay, you can check it, you can cross-check it. Now after doing that, what we do is we combine these two tables together in a single table, which is your table number 3. So in step 3 we combine them. So what we do is, first we take the characteristic table of the given of the desired flip-flop and we write all the possible inputs. So for all the possible inputs, what will be our present state and what will be our next state, and then corresponding to this present state and next state, we use the excitation table of the given flip-flop to write the other part, to write the remaining part of the conversion table, okay, or the step 3. So in this table, what we do, for the corresponding output states QP and QP1, what will be our inputs S and R, so that we write from the excitation table. Okay, although in this characteristic table you can see that there are 2 entries only, whereas in the conversion table I have made 4 entries. So this is because I have considered 2 states of QP. So QP is equal to 0 and QP is equal to 1. So what happens in these 2 cases? So because there are 2 inputs, so there will be 4 possible combinations, and QP plus 1 is the output of this state. Okay. Because in the characteristic table we do not show QP, okay, directly, so that is why in the D flip-flop we have not shown the QP or the QT directly. That is why it is of 2 two rows. Okay. Now from this table, now in this table you can see that if your D input is 0 0, you can write it, and now if your D input is 0 and QP is equal to 0, then your QP plus 1, because D is 0, your QP will always be equal to 0. Okay. If you make D is equal to 0, if your QP is equal to 1, then also QP1 will be equal to 0. Okay. So this is very easy to understand, and from this table now you just overlap this excitation table over this step 3, and then you get this. Now after doing this, what we have to do, the next thing is we have to write, because you see we have to decide the inputs. So for each input S and R, we have to write the K-map separately. Okay. So this K-map will have the values from what? It will have the values from D and C. This is a 2 input. So D and QP, okay, or the present state we write. So the D is the input and the present state. So if we write this in a K-map and then draw it for the SR flip-flop, so what will be the next state? So we are drawing it, the K-map for your SR flip-flop. So what we do here is we fill up the entries, in this case for your in the K-map for your S and R inputs, and they are like you see, we take the inputs as D and QP, and QP plus 1, we are actually making it for QP1. I mean, when the transition takes place from QP to QP1, then at that time what should be our inputs, so that we have to decide. So for that we write the K-map separately for the two inputs S and R. So for S input, if you will see, so then when this D and QP entries, if I fill on the K-map, then I can see that there is one entry 1 and the other entry is cross. So I can combine them together, and you see that S is equal to D. Okay. So if you simplify it and solve the equation, so then it will become a pair will be simplified as D. So S will be equal to S input will get the value equal to D. Whereas the same information now you can fill it for the R input. So the R input, so this is the K-map for your S input. I will take the other input, which is R, and we fill up the entries. So you can see again the entries are same 0 0. Okay, so these are the blocks. D and QP becomes the input, D and QP, and we write it for R. So R is like when both the inputs are 0 0, we mark a cross. When the inputs are 0 1, at that time, although in the table it is written 0, okay, but it should be corrected. It should be 1. So because here it is 1, so this you need to correct and make it 1. Okay, so this 1 I cannot make it here, so you make it 1. So correct it. Okay, so please correct it. So make this 0 as 1. Now after doing that, you can see the rest of the entries are like 0 0 only. So now if you combine them together, so this is your X and this is your 1. So if you combine them together, then your R will be equal to D bar. Okay, so remember this, there is a correction in this K-map of R output. So this you have to make 1. Okay, now if you do this, then you can realize these equations which you have got by the help of some combinational gates. So here you will require an inverter, because D if is your input, then S should be equal to D. So it means that S should be directly connected to D. okay, because the given flip-flop is S. So S is directly connected to the input D, whereas R is connected to the inverted of the input, okay. So you use an inverter in between. So if you do this, then you get a D flip-flop. You have converted a SR flip-flop to D flip-flop by following the procedure which we have discussed in the last slide. So now we can do the opposite also. So let's say we have a D flip-flop with us and we want to convert it to the SR flip-flop. So how to do it? Again, we will follow the same procedure. I won't write the step number 1 and step number 2 because they are shown directly in the first few slides. So you can copy them and can check it. Now after doing that, we can combine that information in a single table in step 3. Okay. So that you try by your own, and then after doing it, because here in this case we have because the desired because there is like conversion of D flip-flop to SR flip-flop. So here we have one input only which we have to decide that what should be applied to that single input. So for that, if we decide, then here we will require only one K-map, and that is for the D input. Okay. So that D input, what value that D input should get, that we have to decide by this step 3. So how we do this? We write that characteristic table and the excitation table. Okay, so characteristic table for the desired flip-flop, which is SR in this case, and the excitation table for the given flip-flop, which is the D flip-flop. And then when you combine them together, we have to write a single K-map for the D input. Okay, to find that what should be connected on the D input. So we combine them. We write that in a K-map. So the inputs are S, R, and QP. Okay, and we are writing it for D. So the equation, if you combine them and if you form the group, so you will get one quad. Okay, which is this one, and the other pair you get. So for this, if you find the entries, I mean if you solve it and write the equation, so then the equation will be your So your equation will be S plus R bar QP. For this quad, we get a single term which is S, whereas for the pair, we get the term R bar QP. Okay, so the whole term is this. Then this equation we have to realize on the logic diagram. So you see, the D should get the value equal to S plus R bar QP. So for that, what we do is we take the feedback from the QP and AND it with R bar. Okay, to get R bar, we connect an inverter in between. Okay, and then that the output of this AND gate is fed to the one OR gate, and to that OR gate the other input is S. Now the total output which you get from the OR gate is S plus R bar QP, and that is connected to the D input. Okay, which is the given flip-flop. So this is how you realize given flip-flop, desired flip-flop from the given flip-flop, and that is what the procedure by which you find that what should be applied on the input input of the given flip-flop. Okay, and by that equation you have to find that the combinational circuit. Okay, so this whole procedure you are doing to find that combinational circuit, that what combinational circuit will come on the input side, so that you can convert the given flip-flop to the desired flip-flop. Now following the same procedure, we can also convert SR flip-flop to JK flip-flop. Okay, so again following the same procedure, step 1 and step 2 is not shown. Step 3, we are doing the same thing. We have to write the characteristic table for the JK flip-flop and the excitation table of the SR flip-flop, because the desired flip-flop is your JK flip-flop and you have an SR flip-flop. So for the desired flip-flop, we write the characteristic table, and for the given flip-flop, we write the excitation table. Then there are two inputs which we have to decide. Okay, so J and K are the two, S and R are the two inputs for which we have to decide that what should be connected. So we write the two K-maps for S and R, and then group them following the K-map rules and get the circuit for it. So you can see that this circuit is same as the circuit which we have seen in the last lecture. Okay. Although the clock pulse is not shown here, clock pulse is shown on the SR flip-flop, but if you show the clock pulse, then the circuit will become same as that. Now you can see conversion of JK to SR. If the given flip-flop is JK and you want to convert it to, conversion of JK flip-flop to SR flip-flop. Okay, so you can find that how to connect the the given JK flip-flop to the how to convert a given JK flip-flop to the SR flip-flop. So again we will do the same thing. We will write the excitation table for the given flip-flop and the characteristic table for the desired flip-flop, and then write the same, include them in a single table, form the K-map, and then by K-maps get the equation and realize it. Then later on convert a JK flip-flop to T flip-flop. So the procedure is same. You can do it for any flip-flop to convert a flip-flop from one flip-flop to another flip-flop. Okay, you can verify it in the remaining of the slides, and you can do it by your own. And if you have any problems, you can ask me in the tutorial class, not only regarding to this lecture but any of the lecture which I have taught you on the flip-flops. If you have any problem, then you can discuss that with me in the tutorial class if you want to. So here also we are doing the same thing. Okay, and to convert a JK flip-flop to T flip-flop, we have combined the J and K, because the truth table, the K-map says that we have to do this. That is why we have done this. Now conversion of D flip-flop to JK flip-flop, again we can do this. Okay, following the same procedure. Write the characteristic table, excitation table for the given flip-flop, characteristic table for the desired flip-flop, write the K-map. This K-map will give you the logical expression. Realize it with the help of given flip-flop and the gates. So no need to explain this again and again, same thing, procedure is same. I have just shown you that how to do it with various flip-flops. So once if you are familiar with the procedure, then the things are not difficult for you. It is very easy. Okay, because you have to follow the same procedure, and this is the beauty of your digital electronics, that the things becomes very easy for you. So thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you.